Hi, this is Patrick Allman from allaboutfocus.com with your weekly podcast or video about social media marketing and marketing in general. And something happened today which was a really great lesson, and it happened a few hours ago, and I wanted to get on camera as soon as possible and tell you about it because it's a great lesson of how we are evolving in the marketing world and the customer service world. A few hours ago, I decided to cancel some service with a company I've had for a long time. I didn't realize how long, and that was RingCentral. As you know, you can lease phone numbers from them, or you can use them for your VoIP service, or you can use them for those SIP phones that sit on your desk. RingCentral has a plethora of services, and I called them up to cancel my service. And I don't want to get into all details, but the process was kind of long and drawn out, and I kept being asked the same questions over and over. And I was basically being put through the whole retention process, which is, good to a point for a company to make sure they're finding out, why you're leaving and who you're switching to and why you're leaving, and again, why you're leaving, and one more time, why you're leaving, and then maybe even one more time, why you're leaving. Not saying that happened, but I'm just giving you a classic example of something that might have happened to somebody at some point in time, someplace. And anyway, that went on and on and on, and eventually I got what I wanted. I got my service canceled immediately versus getting it canceled later, so they had a chance to renew me later. And I do what I do sometimes. I got on Twitter and I dropped a little, what was on my mind at the time about kind of how pissed I was about the service. And I tagged the RingCentral Twitter account in the hopes that they would see that and say, hey guys, who had this call, and was there a chance to improve this? And so I did that. Well, about my way, probably refilled my coffee cup, and not 2 minutes later, and to me it felt more like 30 seconds, but I went back and checked the time. Not 2 minutes later, I get a call on the business number. I look at the caller ID, and it's a Vonage. I'm like, weird, I've never talked to Vonage. And it was a salesman from Vonage, and he had called me up. And he had, I don't remember his name, but he had said, hey, I saw your tweet, and we're curious, is there anything Vonage can do to help you out to make sure you get better service? And I wish you could have seen the smile on my face, because it was just so cool to see that, wow, someone saw my tweet. They didn't reply on Twitter. They did some clicking around. I'm not hard to find online. I do a lot of speaking, and I'm very public online. So the guy probably clicked 3 or 4 times, found the office number, and called me, and basically offered his services in exchange. And I didn't need the services because I've already got it taken care of, but that was the first time I think I had seen such a great example of how social media is being used in the world of customer service. And I went back and checked the time. It was probably less than 120 seconds, probably less than 2 minutes, but from the time I put my tweet out to the time that our phone service said the call came in showed 2 minutes, and so that's probably rounding. But again, that was just the best example I've seen of, wow, real-time customer service response from one company. And as I was blown away by it for the longest time. It put a big smile on my face, to tell you the truth, to think that Vonage would do that, because I'm always interested in seeing how people are using social media to improve their businesses. And I've been thinking about that for the past 3 hours, and a few things came to mind, which I hope you take from this, and I also want Vonage to hear. And it's also good if RingCentral hears these things. A few lessons out of this. Now, the first one being one that, your competition is watching you on the internet. Vonage is obviously watching RingCentral's Twitter account. I know when clients hire us, we put out Google alerts for whenever their name is mentioned. Sometimes we do the social media watching, but other times we just have Google alerts, so we know whenever they're mentioned in the news, good review, bad review. We're doing, constant Google lookups to see where things are being said about our clients. We're keeping an eye on our clients and our competition. And in some cases, some of the bigger companies, you have companies like Vonage who are looking at Twitter real time to see what people are saying. And when you went back and looked at the Vonage Twitter account for this particular gentleman that called me, and the Vonage account in general, you can see that they're looking for what people are saying about bad phone service on the internet. And they're responding, can we help you? Can we help you? Can we get on the phone? I mean, they are watching things in real time. No longer is it, oh, hey, I did this thing a week ago, and someone called me today and responded. That was great customer service. No, I had a customer service grief on Twitter, and someone called me back in 2 freaking minutes. Are you kidding me? That's wild. So if you're not doing it already, or actually, that was the first lesson. Be careful and be aware that your prospects and your competition are watching you on the internet. The second one is, if you're not doing this, please do this. There's a various number of companies, we are one, but there are various companies and various services you can use to keep an eye on what's being said about your competition. And not only, don't even look at just like the competition that's the same size as you, maybe look at the competition that's a little bit larger than you and a little bit smaller than you. Just kind of be aware of what your competition's doing. You can use Hootsuite for this, you can use Twitter searches for this. I don't know exactly what Vonage was using, but whatever it was, it gave them a quick real-time alert, and I'm sure they get plenty of business from this. This is a brilliant idea, and I'm obviously still energized and stoked about what they did for me. And the third one, the third lesson I want you to take from this is that, again, and we've heard this before, but it's a stark reminder that people are talking about you on the internet. Now, I don't think that's I guess that's kind of the same thing as the first lesson, but just be careful about how you treat people. It's going to come back to haunt you. It could come back in Google search results. It could come back from someone like me. I'm very active on Twitter, and whenever a company kind of does right by me or does wrong by me, I'm hopping on Twitter right away and I'm dropping beef about them, or I'm giving them huge kudos, because I just think that's the right thing to do. And I've done this before in my YouTube videos. If you look back and go watch my other YouTube videos, I got great customer service from AT&T ones, and it's back one of my more popular videos about great AT&T customer service. And I'm not 100% sure, but looking at the video views of it, I am pretty sure it got shared around to other people inside the AT&T company, because it's one of my more popular videos. So again, kudos out to Vonage, man, for the jumping on that. That's just a great example in customer service, and I can promise you I'm going to be using that in my social media conferences and presentations for years and years to come. And then kind of a heads up to RingCentral to, man, you guys gotta pay attention and see what's happening in your customer service department, because people like me are kind of getting upset about things, and we're tweeting about it for the entire world to see. And some people have small Twitter followers, some people have medium-sized Twitter followers. I think I have somewhere around 30,000 Twitter followers. So that's the potential for that to go out. And then after all this happened, Vonage and I then had a conversation online, and there are people watching this conversation between Vonage and a customer who had a bad experience with another company. So that's even giving them more credibility when it shows how they respond to things real time. And those are out there forever. And somehow in the process, I never got either a call back or a tweet back from the RingCentral people. So again, it's just an opportunity. Again, kudos to Vonage, and hey, RingCentral, here's an opportunity of how to fix things and do things better. This has been Patrick Allman from allaboutfocus.com. If you have any questions about this, please feel free to reach out to me on Twitter, because I pretty much watch my Twitter account in real time. It's just at Patrick Allman, PatrickAllmond. And of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel, read the blog, listen to the podcast, which you might even be listening to already. And I always love hearing your feedback and your interaction. Thank you for watching and listening if you're on the podcast, and stay tuned for next week's video. We'll talk to you soon.